It was the big city. One day everything was fine. Everyone was busy going to work. Everything was happy. Then everything went quiet. Not a soul. Something happened. You were in your office one day, searching around files and trying to figure out what happened to everyone.
I have to get out of here at all costs. Maybe we look for a car on that tubing. How am I going to escape this hellhole? I only hope. Only hope.
Okay, so you've just seen a brief demo of the playthrough of The Waking. So I thought I'd just add on a bit to show what the levels look like in GameMaker 6 for the editor. So you can see this is the first level. Obviously there's no 3D appearance of the level. And so the way that it works is that each of the objects as being placed as tiles on the map have a significance. So you can see all of the yellow walls represent where there would be walls shown within the game. Any of the sort of grey bottom tiles as tiles on the ground. And then there's other objects around. So we have in the corner here, there was a pot plant. So this is the first room where the player begins. And so there's also a music handler which begins the music playing when you sort of appear into the room, and the player would spawn over here. And there's also a a couple of other objects around the place. There are some chairs, I think, somewhere down here. Yes, there's some plants, and then there's also zombies. So the zombies are identified as being these sort of green plant objects. They do actually share the same sprite on the map editor. You can only tell which one's which by mousing over, and then in the bottom uh, of the screen it tells you like object obj plant 1a, for example. And then when I hover over this one, there's object zombie underscore stationary. So all of the zombies that are pre-spawned in are zombie stationary, and so these are triggered based on a proximity trigger. So when you get within a certain range of them, they'll begin coming towards you. So what this means is that as the player begins in this room, as they begin to come toward this exit, they're going to be close enough to the zombie over here that it will come. And you can, as the player, run through very quickly and avoid the zombie, but generally it's better to just turn to the left and shoot it before it just attacks you from behind and kills you. Then we have you come down this corridor here, and so you find this stationary zombie over here that comes out and attacks you. So this one you pretty much always have to kill no matter what. And then we have sort of a number of other rooms. So a player who's unaware of where they're going would need to perhaps investigate sort of the rooms down here where there's a zombie. Then there's another room with another zombie over here with a room. And so you can see there's a desk and a chair if you look at the object names at the bottom of the screen. So with these zombies, though, you can avoid them if you go the optimal route, and you'll also run out of ammo if you try and kill too many zombies, because there is actually an unlimited number of zombies because there is a zombie spawner over here in this side room. So the idea is that as the player, you'll come from this top room here, and you'll have to go down through this corridor and kill at least 2 zombies there on the way to this point, and then you'll immediately turn left. You don't want to get too close to this zombie down here or it will come and attack you. The zombie in this room will also, these 2 rooms will also likely become triggered as you begin to enter here. So if you go too far down or too far up as you're going in, you will trigger them early and they may come out and attack you as you're trying to get past. So you need to line yourself up to go through quickly, and you also need to do it quickly enough that you're not sort of worrying about extra zombies. So the zombie spawner will begin spawning reasonably soon into the game, and so you actually do have 3 zombies here, 2 zombies, sorry, to contend with. So there's a plant here to the left, and then there's a zombie in the middle of the corridor that you have to kill. And then there's a zombie down in this bottom corridor here, which you can sidestep if you run quickly past it, but it is probably easier generally to kill this zombie as well. So the goal is simply to be able to get to this line here. So the line here is marked as an object door, so it's not actually visibly a door, but the idea is that you just need to enter this threshold, and that will immediately begin the cutscene that follows this level. And so it's as if you've escaped the zombies. So for the second level, so after the cutscene's ended, we then have an outdoor kind of level where you're having to get to a car. And so we have a number of different elements. We have some outside lights, so you can see these sort of explosion-y looking sprites. These are representing where there's lights that are appearing as point lights, and so they illuminate the scene because otherwise it's a lot darker throughout the scene. And so what you're doing here is you've got a very small level, just like for the other one, where you actually need to go even less distance, and you can, if you know where you're going, go directly to the exit with killing a minimal number of zombies. So all of the green appearances here in this level are zombies. So the player spawns over on the left here, and so you spawn there, and then as you go forward, you'll trigger the first zombie that appears here. And then as you go around, you'll find that there are a number of different zombies that are scattered around the place. Now, there's one particular point where you need to get to. So you can see that there's these sort of blue orb spots. Now, these are actually all cars. And so the idea is you need to find the correct car to be able to escape, one essentially that's unlocked and available for you to actually use. So There is another zombie spawner down at the very end, so if you go down toward that way, you'll find that there are zombies that continually are coming out, and those do track toward the player once they do spawn, so you can't sort of hang around the level too long. The goal, though, is to actually enter the area over here. So you can see that this sort of grid of bricks around here, these are actually all a finish level flag. So as soon as you enter any of this area, this represents reaching the end of the level. Any of these other cars that you go to, so you can see there's the little blue car underneath that finish level. Any of these other cars that you try and go to, these will not do the finish level and won't take you to the cutscene, and probably if you go into any of the other cars, you're likely to die to the zombies, unless you've managed to kill them, because you're limited again by a small amount of ammunition. You have essentially one starting clip of 30 shots, and then you have another 5 clips that you can wipe out your current clip with to be able to reload and fire. There's no real difference between the pistol and the SMG that I can recall, but essentially you can use that just for an aesthetic change. And so I hope you've enjoyed this sort of brief overview of the game, and look forward to seeing you watching the next one.